Hayoi in Shanxi province with opium addicts. She also makes personal evangelistic visits to the surrounding villages. She serves with the China Inland Mission.
So that's what CIM stands for, Mildred told herself as Miss Whitchurch stood to speak. Mildred looked her over. The missionary wore a plain brown dress. Deathly plain, Mildred thought. And there was something embroidered on her collar. Was it words? Mildred soon forgot about the state of Emily Whitchurch's dress as the missionary started to tell stories about her life in China. Emily's eyes shone as she spoke about the men and women who lived at the opium refuge and about how she taught them Bible passages and urged them to trust in God. Emily also spoke of old Deacon He, who accompanied her on her visits to remote homes and villages to pray with and read to the inhabitants. After the service, Miss Whitchurch walked with Mildred the half-mile to the Cable home on Maori Road. The first thing Mildred noticed as they walked was that the embroidery on Emily's collar was indeed words, which read, "Jesus, He shall save." This seemed a little extreme to Mildred. She was a Christian and even did some home visiting for the church, but the thought of wearing a verse embroidered on her collar seemed a bit much. "When did you come to know the Lord?" the missionary asked as they walked on in the late afternoon sun. "When I was young, I was very scared of God," Mildred replied. "I had a nurse who constantly lectured us on hell and the wrath of God. Sometimes I lay awake all night thinking that if I fell asleep, I might wake up in hell. The nurse's favorite verse was, 'Thou, God, seest me.' And everywhere I went, I felt that God was watching, waiting for me to make a mistake." "That's a sad way for a girl to live, isn't it?" Emily said. "Yes," Mildred replied. "Thankfully, I had a dream of Jesus playing games in the temple. He was with a group of other children, and when he saw me, he smiled and beckoned me over to play. I did, and I felt so safe and happy. Since that time, I haven't worried about hell, and I'm glad that God's eye is upon me, because I know He loves me." "Remarkable," Emily said. "And how about the rest of your family? How many brothers and sisters do you have?" "5," Mildred replied. "I'm the oldest. Then there's John, Frederick, Leonard, and Beatrice. And my mother had another baby in spring, a sister named Dora." "What a busy household you must have. Are they all at home now?" "No," Mildred said. "They're on holiday. I came home early with our maid to hear you speak." "I'm glad you did," Emily replied. The women walked in silence for a moment. Then the missionary turned to Mildred and said, "I think the Lord wants you to go to China." Mildred felt her temper rising. They had been having a nice talk, and now this stranger presumed to tell her what to do with her life. What did Emily Whitchurch know about Mildred's life? "I don't think so," she retorted. "I have no intention of being a missionary, and if I did, I think that India would be much more appealing to me than China." "But," Emily said, "you must go where the Lord sends you, my dear. If you are the Lord's, you have to give Him total control of your life." Mildred looked for a way to change the conversation quickly. "Do all CIM missionaries have verses embroidered around their collars?" she asked. "No," Emily replied. "I do it because that's what I do in China on my native clothes, and I see no reason to change that practice here." "I suppose it would be all right in China, but it doesn't look right here in England," Mildred thought as they arrived at her gate. Mildred then said goodbye, and the missionary